Good evening, and welcome back. What you just heard inside that hearing room might have sounded like a routine exchange, but buried in those few minutes is a story about power, accountability, and who ultimately pays the bill. If you care about how government really works behind the scenes, this is one you want to understand. And before we go any further, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you do not miss these breakdowns. We bring you what the clips alone cannot explain.
Sir, Senator Gallego.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Secretary Bessent, thank you again for being here today. We kind of touched on this earlier. In addition to being Treasury Secretary, you are serving as Acting Director of the IRS. So following up on Senator Kim's questioning, so you are fully aware that the President is suing your agency for $10 billion.
Yeah.
We would agree. Would you agree that $10 billion is a good sum of money?
Yes, sir.
Where would that be cut from? Let's say for some reason he actually wins that lawsuit. Where would that $10 billion come from?
Again, it would come from...
Process-wise. I'm not asking like your opinion whether it's right or wrong.
It would come from Treasury,
It comes from Treasury, which comes from the general fund,
the Treasury general account.
so taxpayers.
Yes.
Thank you.
Part of the 440,000 taxpayers whose returns were leaked.
If the president, they're not suing, but if the president prevails in this lawsuit, he's going to be able to pocket that money. My question is the president, has anyone in the president's office talked to you about this lawsuit in any regard?
They have not, and the president said he will donate the proceeds to charity. You may have missed that.
So no one at all has discussed this to you whatsoever?
No, sir, and the president said he will.
Have you received, I didn't ask any more questions. Have you received any advice from Treasury's legal division about how to handle this potential conflict?
This is a Justice Department matter. They represent Treasury in it.
Had someone from the Department of Justice actually come and talk to you saying that this is their purview and you need to stay out of it, or who has discussed to you what is your role in this?
Our general counsel, who's sitting behind me, has told me that it is a Justice Department matter. The Justice Department defends Treasury in matters like this.
Okay, so it has been discussed with you. Do you have any final say at all in the process of this, or is the DOJ just going to instruct you to cut a check and/or settle, and you have no independence to actually make a decision whether or not the president deserves $10 billion?
Again, that is a DOJ matter.
And so the DOJ will entirely make that decision whether or not the president should receive $10 billion. You have no say at all.
Correct.
So you will just have to write the check if you were told to write the check.
Correct.
And you would write the check willingly if you're told by a DOJ to the president.
I will follow the law, Senator.
Okay. I mean, I think for many of us, this is very simple, and I think if this had been happening in any other countries, it would look an absolute, like a total shakedown of the American taxpayer. Are you also aware that President Trump has filed claims seeking $230 million from the Justice Department for investigations conducted during his previous candidacy?
I'm unaware of the cumulative number.
Okay. So if the president wins or settles these claims, that money will come also from the Treasury Judgment Fund, which you do control. Have you recused yourself from any decisions about paying the president on these claims?
Again, I'll follow the law, and I'm not involved with any of this. It stems from justice.
So even though the Treasury Judgment Fund is called the Treasury Judgment Fund, you have no control over the Treasury Judgment Fund?
We act as paymaster.
So you will sign it then?
Sorry?
You will sign the check then? If you're a paymaster, you'd be the person's signature is to the Treasury Judgment Fund?
I would assume it would be a wire transfer.
Yes, I'm assuming we're not that old school.
Yep.
But that being said, so you have no say in this whatsoever. You will only basically follow what the DOJ says, but you're the person that actually is the final person that pushes send, essentially, on the wire transfer.
Yes.
And even if you feel or that it is unjust, the fact that this president is basically plundering U.S. taxpayer dollars, you will still hit that send button.
Even if I believe that 6103, the IRS tax code, was violated and 440,000 taxpayers were leaked.
So back to this other thing. So now, you do believe, though, I mean, do you understand why some of us see a problem with that? And let me ask just a very simple question. Do you work for the President of the United States?
I work for the American people.
So can the president fire you?
Or he can.
He can fire you, correct?
Yes.
So isn't it a conflict of interest that you're going to be making these decisions and the president has full power over you?
I think you're confused, Senator. I am not part of the decision.
Well, you're certainly a person that send on the wire transfer, and I think that's why there's a lot of people that are actually
that is not part of
do
the
not
decision.
trust and do not trust the
Well,
president's
I
actually
guess you
looking
were
out his best
saying-
interest.
I guess you were saying that
I'm controlling the time here.
obeying the
I'm
law
controlling. You're not obeying the law. You're plundering U.S. taxpayer dollars.
Obeying the
plundering
law
U.S.
is the
taxpayer
decision.
dollars.
Obeying the
Plundering
law is the
taxpayer dollars.
decision.
Plundering. Thank you. You'll back.
Today's moment came during questioning of Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who is not only running the Treasury Department, but is also serving as acting director of the IRS. That dual role matters here because the issue on the table was a lawsuit filed by the president against the IRS, seeking $10 billion in damages over the leak of taxpayer information involving roughly 440,000 Americans. Let that number sink in for a moment. $10 billion. When Senator Gallego asked whether that was a significant sum, Secretary Bessent did not hesitate. Yes, sir. But the most important part of this exchange was not the size of the number. It was where that money would come from if the president were to win. Pressed to explain, Bessent confirmed that any payout would come from the Treasury, specifically the Treasury General account. In plain English, that is the federal government's main checking account, and that account is funded by taxpayers. Your taxes, my taxes, everyone's taxes. So if this lawsuit were successful, it would not be the IRS as an abstract institution paying the bill. It would be the public. That includes the very taxpayers whose private information was exposed in the first place. And yes, that irony did not go unnoticed in the questioning. If this kind of accountability breakdown matters to you, take a second right now and subscribe. These hearings move fast, and the real implications are easy to miss without context. Now here is where the conversation takes a sharper turn. Senator Gallego asked a simple but critical question. Has the president or anyone in his office discussed this lawsuit with you at all? This is not a minor detail. If the president is suing an agency that falls under the executive branch, and the head of that agency is also serving at the pleasure of the president, any behind-the-scenes coordination would raise serious conflict of interest concerns. Secretary Bessent's answer was clear. No. He said there had been no discussions whatsoever. He also added something else, that the president has publicly stated he would donate any proceeds from the lawsuit to charity.